In this video, Carol and I pack everything we need into our 2019 Jeep Wrangler and set off on a cross-country journey from Ontario, Canada to her home state of Oregon along the rugged Pacific coast. Over the next 31 days, we'll be living out of the Jeep as we travel over 6,200 miles or 10,000 kilometers. Our adventure will take us deep into the backcountry where we'll face challenges and witness some of the most breathtaking scenery in the United States of America. Join us as we embark on the overland trip of a lifetime, exploring the wild beauty of America. Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Carol.
In 2016, we sold almost everything we own, and we took our 3 teenage kids on an epic family road trip around North America and the world.
We knew we could always make more money, but we could never get back time.
As a family, we valued time more than money and experiences more than things. Along the way, our kids grew up into awesome young adults while developing the entrepreneurial skills and life experiences that have set them on their own adventurous paths. In our new chapter as empty nesters, our adventure continues, both off the grid at our cabin in the wilderness and on the road exploring distant places in our well-equipped expedition truck.
So I'm doing one final walk with Lando around the island. We normally do this a few times a day, but we decided to leave Lando with Dan. I think it'd be better for him. And we got a phone call from Pete, as you know, is in Africa, and he said, can Lando be there when I arrive home? So we said yes to that. But yeah, so it'll be interesting not having him running out in front of us, and for me not having him on all the walks and just around. But I think he'll have a lot of fun with Daniel and with Pete, who comes home in about 2 weeks. Love you. Have a good time. Remember to see Lando.
Love you, bud. Take care, eh? Be safe. Keep your Zolio with you. Alone in the wilderness. Part 2.
Love you.
Drive safe.
It kind of feels weird leaving Dan and Lando. I don't know what that feeling is just yet, but
No, especially all alone, but he's a very capable young man. He's got a Jeep, he's got his own cabin, he's got his own YouTube channel. He's in good hands, he's in good shape.
and he has Lando.
And he's got Lando.
On the road. This is crazy. I gotta stop here though.
And it's probably the best thing, you know, for a young man, he's 19, to be truly alone. Because he's always had his, you know, his parents are nearby, or his brother or sister, so this just forces you into a new layer of responsibility, which is a very healthy thing. So have fun, Dan. We already miss you. We just left.
Nah.
We're at Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, crossing into Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and it is 5:30. So what do you have? A couple hours left in you driving?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna head right along the bottom of Lake Superior towards Duluth, and find a place to camp for the night if we can, and well, we'll find something and carry on. We're gonna really push hard just to get west get to Montana, and then go south from there.
So we made it into the States and we're in Michigan. Feels kind of good to be back in the States.
It does. It's been a good year and a half, pretty much, right? I guess we came through in May of 22. So, a year and a couple of months.
Are these just little jet-ins or?
I guess. It's not an Overlander spot. I think you can camp anywhere. I'm just going to where they camped. We'll check it out. Not sure if there's any. I haven't seen anything that looks like a camp spot.
That looks something.
Not too bad there.
I don't want to keep going too far because we're just going to go on the highway
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
I'm gonna go ahead at all or try this.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know.
Turn around maybe? I was hoping it would come up to another logging road, but just turn around.
At this point, it's getting scary. It's pretty though.
Yeah.
So we just pulled into camp and boy am I tired. It wasn't a long drive or anything like that. I think it was around 5 hours and then some stops, so 7 hours or so. But 5 hours of driving. This is pretty. I'm happy we found this. Lots of wildflowers everywhere. And it was just kind of a nice surprise. But I'm gonna go to bed early. I think Pete's gonna stay up just a little bit later, just relaxing and going over our route. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the morning for coffee.
Good morning, guys. We're getting a relatively early start back on the road, but had a great sleep there, very quiet in the forest. And we are navigating to the first coffee shop. That's the most important thing right now. We'll get a coffee and then we'll get going west. We've got a long ways to go and a short time to get there. As you know, we're in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Beautiful area. Looks like the kind of place we'd want to explore a little more of. We found this little breakfast joint, Earl E. Birds. Let's go get some brekkie. All right, we had a delicious breakfast and we are now getting back on the road. But this little town of Munising, I think it is, Munising, Michigan, right on Lake Superior. Absolutely beautiful. Tons of quaint little restaurants, and looks like a neat place to visit. And you can kind of tell when the people there were eating breakfast, the kind of excited tones. You know, everybody's on vacation here. So we can't stay, we've got to keep moving on, but kind of town we'd come back to.
What a beautiful day.
Oh, it's amazing. Lake Superior's amazing. We've done north of Superior, and this is south of Superior. A lot of sandy beaches on both sides of the lake. Beautiful. Nice water.
It's like bath water.
Nice.
Super clear and just, oh, beautiful. I wish we could stay. We gotta hit the road.
Just crossed into Wisconsin. It's kind of the top of Wisconsin, so it'll probably be a couple hours drive, maybe 2 hours, and then we're into Minnesota. We're heading west.
Lovely, where have you been? Haven't seen you since I don't know when. Guess it's where the wind has blown. Crazy how the time has flown.
Alright, so we're in Minnesota. We've gone through Michigan, Wisconsin, and now we're crossing Minnesota. Next state up, North Dakota. Alright, it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock our time, because we came back an hour. Going through a time zone there, but we're pretty tired. We've been driving since about 6 this morning, and we've come a long ways. We're just about into North Dakota, like 10 minutes from North Dakota, but there's a state park here, and we called them and they're pretty empty, so we thought it would be nice to just camp here. There's not much else. We'd have to go a couple hours past Fargo, and we don't feel like driving too much more tonight, so yeah. This looks like a beautiful little state park, right? Pretty much on the boundary of Minnesota and North Dakota.
This is a beautiful camp spot that we're at with this river in the background. It's been a while actually since we've camped in like a state park. And it's different from wild camping, but it is beautiful, and it has, you know, different trails and things to do. So like if you had teenagers, this is probably a better place than like say a KOA with younger kids. It's really cozy. It's just been nice to just spend time with Pete, have conversations in the Jeep for hours on end. We've been talking to Dan, Pete, Caroline the whole time. They're all doing well. So tomorrow we'll be crossing into the Dakotas, North Dakota. I'm pumped about that. I love North Dakota. Anyways, thanks for the walk, guys. I had fun chatting with you, and I'll see you tomorrow. gorgeous morning.
Minnesota.
And now we're heading out to get some coffee. I don't know if we talked to you guys about that, but we came on this trip with absolutely nothing. Just a little styrofoam cooler to keep our snacks cool and things like that.
We didn't bother bringing any kitchen stuff, jet boils for making coffee, etc., because everything we have is a duplicate of everything we own is out there in Montana in the trailer, and the last thing we wanted to do is pack more stuff. In fact, this trip is really a mission to go collect all the stuff we have spread out all over the U.S. and bring it home. So we came empty-handed. That's why we're looking for coffee shops and breakfast places right now. Normally we'd make our own, as you know. So yeah, we're about 12 hours drive from Bozeman. So we might push all the way through. That's without stops. So we might push all the way through, or we might stop somewhere in.
I have a feeling we're going to stop somewhere because I just love from North Dakota going into Montana.
Yeah, we're back right by Theodore Roosevelt National Park. We're just going to stop at the rest center for a moment because it looked like I heard a buffalo in there. It's really neat.
Wow, that's always just amazing. I love this place. It just blows your mind.
Yeah, I can see why Roosevelt was so enthralled with this area. The Badlands, we'll take a look over the edge to show you. You can see the painted color of the hills. Gorgeous. This is just the very beginning of the Badlands. It goes on forever.
Antlers. Are these real? That I don't know. I have no idea. That was a beautiful sleep, very quiet. I got up at night and the stars were just spectacular. The Milky Way was going right over us. So yeah, we really enjoyed the Badlands. They're not so bad, but we're up this morning fairly early. Gonna head into the little town of Medora again and grab a coffee, and then we're heading west
it's about a 6.5 hour drive, not including stops. So we'll see. We'll probably push and get into Bozeman today. Reunite with our trailer and our gear, and it'll be fun to see the crew from Expo if they're still at work when we get there. The ones that aren't in Africa anyway. And yeah, let's head down the road. So we just left Medora. The coffee shop wasn't open until 7, and so we thought, well, that's a half an hour from now, so we'll get a half an hour up the road and grab a coffee in Montana. Alright, we just had a delicious breakfast here. It's called the Palace Hotel Cafe. Just a really small, old historic building in a tiny town of Wibaw, Montana, just over the state line from North Dakota. So we're all coffeeed up, had a good omelet, and getting back on the road. We are pulling in the driveway at the X-Hanger. We actually made it. It's a long journey, but we're here. I feel like we're coming home. We spent a lot of time here in 2021. The kids were doing the apprenticeship with Clay, and yeah, but it's good to be here, good to be back and see the crew.
So this morning I am on cleanup duty. I'm going through our trailer that we had stored for about 1.5 years, I think. So there's a lot of stuff that we just kind of threw a bunch of gear in there and then took off to get back. But as you can see, it's a lot of just random things, a lot of food, so I can get rid of that. But yeah, not too much. Like, I thought there was a lot more in there, but a lot of it we don't, you know, really even need to use, or we can give away some gear. And I think we're going to be doing a lot of that, is just giving some away and then tossing the rest. So we'll be taking the trailer with us, and that has our fridge and our oven, everything like that. And we're going to be meeting up with some of our family along the way, so they're going to be using the rooftop tent on that. I'm super excited to be seeing them and to hit some of the trails with them.
Good morning. So we are now finished sorting everything, all of our gear that we left at Clay's and in storage here in Bozeman, and we're beginning our journey south. We're gonna do a hike first, and we did it yesterday. There's a place called the M Hike here in Bozeman, and it's an excellent way to stretch your legs and get some blood flowing after all those days on the road. And before we get back on the road, we're gonna stretch our legs again, and then we're heading over east and then cutting down into Wyoming, and we're gonna hit some of the backcountry when we get down to the Wind River mountain range. So that's exciting. We've never actually been in there. And then we'll see you in Loveland, Colorado this weekend. Halfway up. Not quite halfway up. But normally there's a huge view off of here, but it still looks really cool with the mist.
This way?
Onward. Onward and upward.
Oh, Pete and I have done hikes ever since we started doing our epic family road trip. It's always good to get out, burn some calories, especially when you've been driving so much. And when you're traveling with kids, let them burn that energy. And you get to see what you're traveling through instead of just always in the vehicle. It is just breathtaking. Hi there, puppy. Hi. Oh, Lando would love you. Well, it looks like the sun is peeking out. Maybe when we reach the top, The mist may clear just enough. Wouldn't that be something? But even this is just amazing. Well, guys, we made it to the top of the M.
Beautiful view.
Thanks for coming on this hike with us. Now we'll probably
have to get there.
yeah, go down, maybe grab a coffee somewhere, and then hit the road. That was fun.
That was awesome. Jeep just stalled. We just filled with fuel. This is not... I almost want to turn around and get back to civilization, because getting into those mountains, and if this is going to keep happening...
But why?
I don't know why.
Maybe we let it cool down, because it is like really hot today.
Yeah, but that shouldn't happen. There's no way we could be out of fuel already, though. That's my worry. I was just thinking this would be the worst place to break down, because we're in the middle of nowhere. Getting someone to come out here would be almost impossible. If we get it going again, I think we just get back on the highway. I don't know. That's what it did last time. So we have to make a decision. Do we carry on and risk it? I mean, it's did the exact same thing last time, and just, you know, we waited for a second and started up. It's pumping fuel, but the reserve is still full. We literally filled, what, an hour ago?
Yeah.
There's no way we ran out in an hour. But we were heading into those mountains.
Oh, it's beautiful. Like, check that out. How pretty that all is. Alright, so we ended up turning around. We just didn't think with... I think we actually did run out of fuel, which is strange because it didn't seem that long ago that we filled, but we may have lost track of time. We've been pushing really hard, and it's been almost straight uphill the whole time. We're towing the trailer now, so, and it's very hot out, so with all those factors, who knows? We may have run out of fuel. I'm pumping in, I've pumped in a quarter tank already, and so everything's running fine again. But we just decided to turn around, come back out to the main freeway here, and head south into Wyoming. And rather than, you know, something going wrong way out in the wilderness, which is where we are headed, but we are gonna catch a piece of the BDR, so we're gonna get down to the Wind River mountain range, and then at that point, if everything's still operating smoothly and we have lots of fuel, then we'll head into the mountains there, and that's the plan for now. Good thing we didn't get way back in the mountains, because it's acting up again. So first shop we can find, we're gonna have to get this looked at, unfortunately. How far away from a town?
Quite a ways. Oof.
Really?
Well, Sheridan looks like the closest town.
Well, let's just pray we can get there. Just like 20 more miles, right?
22 minutes. So
22 minutes.
40 kilometers, yeah, 20 miles.
Does this make it back on the highway?
I hope so. Looks like it, yeah.
Okay. Fingers crossed we can make it to a hotel or something, and then get it looked at tomorrow morning. And hopefully we can drive it there so we don't have any tow trucks involved. So it's like you guys can kind of hear that it's definitely chugging.
A lot more fuel. It's probably not out of fuel, but it's running out of fuel, so it might be similar to what happened to Vandy back when we were in Quebec, and it wasn't using the whole tank and running out at a quarter or half a tank or something. So I just pumped a little bit and it started, but it just wasn't enough, I don't think, to get us very far. So we're gonna have to sit here for a while until I see the auxiliary tank is down another notch or two. So we'll sit here.
Well, hopefully it's not big so we can make it to the show at least. It would stink not being able to.
Pumping, pumping, pumping. That noise you hear, that clicking, is the fuel pump transferring fuel from the auxiliary to the main tank. Get off the road safely. Stalled out again. I'm just coasting off the edge. We'll have to refill it, so it's using a quarter tank every 20 miles or less. Bird. Alright. Get off the road here.
I thought we were pumping that whole time.
We were, but it's slow and we're climbing big hills and big heat. I should have gone farther off the road. Something is not right. 5 minutes to fuel. Fill up the tanks. It runs better, obviously, with a full tank. Oof, it's chugging even now. And we'll see what happens, but the local shop here is closed for the night, so we may just hole up for the night, and then what we'll do is call them first thing in the morning and see if they're willing to take us in on short notice. And if not, we're gonna go to plan B, which we don't have yet. Nice feeling though, making it to the gas station. So this really feels like the same problem we had with Vandy, if you recall, coming back from Quebec. When it was full of fuel, we just filled up, it runs like a charm. When it gets down lower, it starts stalling out, and it was a fairly simple fix, I believe, as things start to beep. But anyway, but nothing's open right now, and in this part of the country here, it seems like it's all privately owned ranch land everywhere you look. I looked on Overland, I don't see any BLM free camps, but there is a KOA, and it looks like we're gonna have to spend the night, and maybe if they can help us tomorrow, probably another night. So what we've done in the past is, you know, you have no choice really. You got to stay in a hotel. When your vehicle is also your house, you have to stay in a hotel or something. And there's a KOA up the road, like really close to the town, that has a cabin available. So we're gonna go inquire about that.
Super thankful for that. And I thought our days at the KOA were over now that the kids are older, but we're back. Home sweet home.
We're there.
I didn't know that you could get covered wagons. That's pretty cool. Feels like we're on our honeymoon.
Oh yeah, every moment is special.
Look at this.
Want me to carry you across the threshold? We gotta get the windows open and get some airflow going.
Well, at least there's a fan in here. This is kind of cozy, you gotta admit.
It is.
Gotta roll with the punches, I guess.
That's a pillow.
Look
Good
at you,
boy.
Lando.
Good
Hi,
boy,
little
Lando.
guy.
Wow.
You brought me a pillow? Yeah. Having fun?
Happy wag.
Aw. Yeah.
Good boy, Len.
You guys went fishing together?
Yeah.
Aw. Love you, Dan.
Love you.
Best friend.
Happy birthday, Motto.
Almost. Happy birthday. Birthday week.
Love you, Dad.
Love you too, big guy. Talk to you soon. They're chugging that like it's running out of fuel, but it's not. I think it's about half full. We're kind of stranded here. I was wondering, would you guys be able to at least run a diagnostics and kind of see what's going on with it? Or?
What I'm going to do is defer you to the Jeep inspector and see what he can do for you.
Okay.
Hi, Grace Kelly Will in the service department of Sheridan Motors in Sheridan, Wyoming. Currently away from my desk around the
Yeah, good morning. My name's Peter. We're traveling through from Canada, and last night we ran into some fuel issues with our Jeep. We're wondering if you could get it in for it to run the diagnostics and kind of find out what's going on. We're kind of stranded here at the moment. Yeah, it runs well enough for us to take it into the dealership there and have you look at it. Hopefully you can find some time for us. My number is 416. That was right at 8 when they opened, so he might not be at his desk yet, but we'll try that. All right, so of course they have a busy schedule as always, but he said if we dump the trailer and come back in an hour, they'll at least take a look at it. So that way we can at least diagnose the problem, and you know, sometimes once it's in there and if it's not too serious, they will fix it for us. So let's go put the trailer. They own this road and the land beyond it, so he said we could just leave the trailer there with no problem. We got lucky. They ran a scan, and it's a fuel pump issue or a sensor that's malfunctioning or something along those lines. They're going to take it in the back for us. Normally they're booked well into September, but they have a little opening for us to squeeze in there, and one of the technicians is a fan of the channel, so that doesn't hurt either. So we're very thankful that they're going to be able to help us out and get us back on the road. They got it in, they did all the diagnostics, and have found the problem. The fuel pump is gone, so they've got to bring one in from Denver. They've checked all around here locally. So that, he said if we get the order in now, it'll be here by tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. So we just spend one more night here in this beautiful place called Sheridan, Wyoming, and hopefully we'll be on the road by about noon tomorrow. So that's all really good news. Got a bit of a storm blowing in, some high winds, lightning, thunder, and we're just gonna put some water on this fire and put it out before it blows around. All right, we're back at the dealership this morning. Just dropped the trailer and we're gonna bring it in. Hopefully that part got here last night. I'm sure it did. And I don't know, 2-3 hours maybe, should be back on the road. Thanks to the whole team here. The customer service is incredible, and they found a problem. They ordered in a part overnight and got us back on the road. But while they have the Jeep in the air, they have a Class A mechanic checking it out, and he found cracks on everything that holds the shocks to the frame. So 4 big cracks in the weld, and so I mean, we can still drive it, but we couldn't go off road safely. At some point we're going to hit something and that back axle is going to come right off, so we don't want that to happen. So the team here was also kind enough to look around and see if they can find someone who could weld it, and so there's a company in town that specializes in repairing things like that. And even though everybody's extremely busy, they understand our situation, and so he's set up an appointment for us to go over there this afternoon. So we're much relieved about that, because when we heard about that crack thing, we thought, man, we're not going to make it to the show. It's going to be here for a while. We might have to rent a car to get down. We had all these things we were looking into, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe if all goes well, that group that they're sending us to will be able to get us repaired and back on the road. So one thing after another, the Worsley saga continues. All right, we are back in the Jeep. We're heading to the auto shop where they hopefully can put some tack welds on the cracks that I showed you in the back. But we've got a brand new fuel pump in here and everything seems good so far. So one thing at a time, we're just going to deal with all the issues as we run into them and hopefully be able to get on down the road. So this is the place they had called on our behalf. Kelly, the service advisor from Sheridan Motors, called these folks and they said come on by. It was kind of them because obviously, like everyone else, they're booked well in advance. But let's go in and see what they say. Wow, well, this is what you call service, customer service with a smile. The kind folks here, actually Pat, the owner of Elite, is going to take the Jeep in, put it up on the hoist and weld it up for us, which will be a temporary fix. It could last forever, but at some point we're going to definitely keep a close eye on it, and we might have to reinforce everything under there, but he's going to take care of it for us. So we're super thankful about that. And he said, hey, take my truck and go get something to eat. So man, we're loving this customer service experience here in Sheridan. It's just been amazing. It's unbelievable, but they took it in and they welded everything back up. That was separated. Cleaned it all up, run a nice bead across it, and painted it. And now there's space up here, whereas before that was pretty much touching the frame. So welded on both sides. You can see back in there it's welded as well. And then everything up on that one. So we're back in business. We feel really good. You know, we thought we'd be down for a while, and we were looking into renting a car, place to stay, all that stuff. But Pat and his team helped us out, so we really appreciate that. And we're back on the road, so see you in Colorado.
I think I have no tomato sauce or anything like that, but I will make, I do have Italian seasoning, and so I thought, you know, we don't have any noodles or anything like that right now until we go shopping, but the zucchini and onion, some hot pork sausage, and some beef with some herbs sounds pretty good to me. There's still so much snow out there. In pockets. Some of you have asked how we have our sleeping arrangement in our JXL, and so I thought I would show you guys how we sleep. So this is what it looks like on the inside. We just have a few first aid, all of our charging units here. Of course, you got to have a fan blowing right down on you, and then pockets full of just different things. That's Peter's side, this is my side. So you can see I can stand and get dressed, and it's really nice. And I can also make coffee here, and just, you know, maybe a jet boil, quick little meal maybe, if it's pouring rain or snowing. You can see like lots of big windows. And I do sometimes miss sleeping up here because of the view that you get. And then you have lots of vents up here and then all the way in the back, which is really, really handy. I don't know if you can tell, but like I have to reach way up here. So even Pete can, in the morning, he can stand up easily and move around. It's pretty nice. I'll show you. Let's see. Very cozy. Have my kids' photos there so I can say goodnight to them. Dan, Sis, Pete. So this is a blanket that we're using, and it's super warm. And the nice thing is you can unzip it or zip it up if you're cold on both sides, and just makes it really, really cozy. This is a glow-in-the-dark key ring, and what you do is you pull this when you're sitting inside the Jeep to open up the back gate, and then this, what Daniel made, it's a big long, so I can lay in bed and pull the door closer to me. So that's the little mini tour. Good night, guys. Hope you have a good sleep. We're gonna call it a night.
Good morning. We had a awesome quiet night's sleep out up there in the mountains outside of Bighorn, which is just outside of Sheridan. And yeah, it was a beautiful place, and we'd love to explore those mountains a lot more, but we're now on the road heading towards Colorado, and just fueling up right here, and we're going to carry on down the road. But the fuel pump's working, and everything seems to be working fine as we head down the road.
There's the new one. Hey, strangers. Hi, guys. Well, I gotta say hi, even though it's really hot. Good to see you. Oh, we've been waiting so long to meet you. Oh, say hi. Good to see you, Sam.
You too. Hey, man. Good to see you. Hi. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Where's Caroline?
What did Caroline?
Caroline says hi.
Hi. Bear, say hi back.
Say
Hi back.
Hey guys, we are here at Overland Expo. We made it, which is really good news. So many people helped us out along the way, getting things repaired, so thank you. So we're in Loveland, Colorado. Come by and say hi. We'll be here for 3 days.
Bye. Bye, family. We'll see you down the road. Yeah, see ya.
All right, guys, that's a wrap of a busy but wonderful show. Met so many incredible people, and thanks to everyone who came by and said hi. We really enjoyed meeting you, and we've got some really neat interviews. Hopefully they turned out, because we had a lot of wind and lightning and rain here in the last few minutes, but yeah, we're gonna carry on down the road now. Before continuing westward, we stopped in to visit some friends at their beautiful home on the range in Laramie, Wyoming. It was wonderful to take a break from the road and from the busyness of the expo, and just enjoy their friendship and the beauty of southeast Wyoming. We're up in Rabbit Ears Pass in Colorado, just before coming down into Steamboat Springs. We'll probably do that tomorrow. We saw a trail going up, so we're gonna look for a camp spot. But I'm just gonna pump up the airbags on the trailer, get a bit more ground clearance. Good morning, guys. We had a great sleep here. We're not that far off Highway 40 going through the mountains here, so you're gonna get some traffic noise. This is a good place for a one-night stop. I wouldn't probably camp here for a long time. If we did, we'd carry on further down this forest or this little trail. It's not even a forest road, it's just a trail. And once you get back in there, it's pretty quiet. But yeah, we had a great sleep and got pretty cold last night. We had frost on the tent, but made for a pleasant sleep. Now we're gonna get back on the road and keep heading west. Heading down into Steamboat, Colorado. Last time we were here was with all the kids and we were doing the Colorado BVR.
Good thing we didn't bring down the trailer. Whew. Because this would have been pretty hard to come down with. And then there's no campsite. So that's why I get my exercise in and walk ahead. It is beautiful. I felt the water and it was so cool. Really nice. I think today is around 35 or so. So that was refreshing. But yeah, we'll turn around and look for another spot.
Park here by the river. I think it makes a better option for us. We were up in the hills behind, but man, it was hotter than the surface of the sun. So down here by the river we can feel a bit of a breeze coming off, and they've got these nice little designated camp spots. It's only about $14 for the night, so Can't go wrong.
Swimming.
We can go swimming, I think, yeah. Right over here. That'd be nice.
Well, that was nice to cool down in. And it's quite warm water. But what a beautiful day. The wind is picking up, and apparently tonight is supposed to be, I think, the biggest moon of the year. So I'm looking forward to that. So there's not much cloud cover, if any. So I thought I had some dressing, tomatoes, and all sorts of stuff, and even my lettuce got all bruised on our trip. So we're gonna just make do with what we have. It'll be a simple taco salad.
Good morning. We're heading off now, continuing our westward push. But this little spot by the river was a wonderful place to spend the night. Very, very quiet. No one else in the campground. We got the river right behind us. So we really enjoyed it. The moon was spectacular. I hope we could capture it at least a little bit. It was up all night. Even this morning it was just hanging on the horizon there. So beautiful place here in Colorado. Today we're going to be crossing into Utah, so more adventures ahead. This is a beautiful area. back on pavement, but that trail we just took was absolutely beautiful. It goes higher and higher into the mountains, and then you get into the aspens with big open clearings. In a couple of weeks, I think that'll all be full color, beautiful yellow aspens. Reminded us a lot of when we were doing the BDR in Colorado. So that is an area we're gonna come back and explore, especially with the bikes. The boys will love it up there. Now my ears are popping because we've come down in elevation so much. Alright, we are off of the pavement onto the dirt, but it must have rained up here recently. We're at 8,800 feet. Temperature's a lot cooler and the roads are pretty slick, but we'll just put it in 4 and keep crawling along. We should be alright.
So if you guys can see, there's 2 does here, and then there's a bigger one up here, and then there's 2 bucks. They don't seem to mind us at all. They're just carrying on. So I think we're just gonna get the handsaw and cut these 2 down. I don't want to go off the trail too much.
I think this will do. We were looking for a spot in a bit of a meadow, and I think we found one. Got a nice view that way, through the trees that way. Should be good. We'll spend the night here. So we bought this really cheap kind of styrofoam cooler just to put some ice in, and it ended up leaking all over the sleeping bag in here, but not to worry. We just cranked the Webasto heater and this is just drying everything out. The sleeping bag's already completely dry. This has a little ways to go, a few more minutes and everything's good to go. Morning guys, we had a wonderful sleep here and woke up to mist and fog and quite chilly. Well, it's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 11 degrees Celsius. We're at 9,400 feet here on top of a mountain. As you saw last night, the view's just incredible. We're hoping to see some elk, or Carol is. in her lifelong quest for elk antlers. But anyway, behind us we're doing up some coffee so we can warm up. First one in the thumb.
So we're kind of going slow this morning on the trail. There's some hunters out and we don't want to spook anything if they're out there finding some elk or deer. And we want to see them too. So we've just been taking our time and enjoying this beautiful misty morning. It's really magical. And there's still berries and tons of wildflowers, which is always pleasant. But I must admit, it is kind of hard to keep my eyes on the trail and not looking out over all the meadows and the hills and mountains. It is breathtaking views all around. have that view. We should probably mark it. It got chilly.
Over here
Muddy?
and really muddy, and you can see that storm coming. If it rains, you're not going to be able to get back out of here. A couple days ago, I about slid off the road up here.
Is that
coming
right?
out of here.
I was just looking at the trail going,
It gets really steep. See that switchback over there?
yeah.
Right before you get to that switchback, there's a bunch of aspens and stuff, and it's just slicker than snot.
Okay.
It's probably okay right now, but there's a big thunderstorm coming.
I can see it.
That's why I'm getting out of here.
I might turn around and just follow you out. Thanks for the advice.
No worries.
All right, man. That's good advice. You know, I'm looking at the way, even on the lowlands here, how slick it is, let alone on those steep hills. Kevin even suggested a couple of workarounds if it got bad, so we will conquer that hill another day when it's dry. I'm just gonna turn around and get out of here too. If the locals are saying I'm getting out of here, I'm doing the same. Wow.
So Strawberry Mountain with the boys.
We'll do that another day when it's not a thunderstorm and it is slick, like really slick. So heading out. It looks like we got some blue sky coming, which is great because that heavy rain on this mud just turned it into extremely slick, almost like driving on snow or ice. And we're coming down a very steep hill, but at least we're off the shelf roads. That's the important part. Okay, she's completely slick.
You're trying to get out of this rut.
Yeah. My wheel slid into the little ditch there, and I haven't been able to get out of it, but we're still making forward progress, but there we go.
Got out of that one.
That was slick.
That just shows how slick this stuff is.
Sheer, yeah, like I have it in four-wheel drive, and even steering out of the ditch, it just slides right back in. So this is some slick mud. We'll just take our time till we're at the bottom. We're also in need of new tires. These guys have been back and forth across the country and to the Arctic and all over the place many times, and ready for a replacement. Now's when you can feel it.
You're good. It's drier up that way. Just remember, this is horrible down here. That way. Yeah, I'm not buckled, so.
Yeah. We just slid off the road here, and I'm just gonna get out and survey the situation. It's very slick with the trailer. So there's one more steep section and then it levels out. But even with the side-by-side, he's just crawling. He said he can slide right off the road. So
I mean, if he's inching along and we have a trailer.
Yeah, he said you can wait half an hour sometimes if it doesn't rain again, and it'll dry out pretty good. But I don't know.
Too bad this ditch is just so deep, because
yeah,
then we
if it
could just
wasn't
crawl
deep,
with
I would
it.
Crawl through it. I might even try that. Might be my only option. But
yeah. it's gonna get really steep that way, like where it can flip all the way. So just be, I could try standing on it. Yeah. That was awesome. No winch needed. This is like, I just have to slide down basically. And I can't believe he got the trailer. Now if I can get myself out of this. Whoa. Oh my goodness. It is just crazy. Baby steps trying to get out of here. I should have taken walking sticks. This is no joke. It is literally like skating on ice. And I don't want to be the next one to go down. Oh, wow. There is something to be said about Utah or New Mexico. Their mud is unbelievable. Just slick. And Pete was really hesitant to come down. And I kind of told him to go. But so far, so good. We got out of that. The sun is out. And it looks to be clear for right now. And we'll just keep praying for that nice sun to beat down on the road here and dry it up a little bit. We have one more steep switchback. The gentleman in the side-by-side told us. So we'll see. No real traction.
No, you can barely even walk on this stuff. We have one more pretty steep hill, and then he said it levels off after that for about 5 miles to the freeway. So
This sunshine is heaven, though.
yeah, if it sticks around, we should probably make lunch, let the road dry out a bit, and then do the last little section. Unless we see rain coming, and then we'll just have to go for it. The ditch is a lot less deep on this section, so I might ride with one tire in the ditch.
You can see this mud is just glue, basically, for my new shoes. So Pete's gonna go check around the corner just so he can visualize what he's kind of up against. But I don't know if you guys could hear that. He said this ditch is probably perfect to put one tire in and just keep going down that way so we don't end up sliding off the other way.
Once we're around the corner, it's a lot better.
Awesome.
go, no brakes. Go. We'll just carry on in 4 low until we get right to the bottom, and then it should be easy going from there.
Oh my goodness. Makes your stomach flip. There's still some slick stuff. And that ditch is way too deep. Just maybe in the left-hand tire rut.
Yeah, stuff in there. Oh my. I think I have one choice.
It just keeps, the trailer keeps on grabbing you back down into the ditch.
At some point we hit a dirt road. It's going to be happy days. Gravel road.
Well, you can see other people are riding this whole ditch line.
A little more level, but just as greasy. Yeah, I think we're out of the trail and onto what looks more like a gravel road, so we have much better traction down here. That was we thought our white knuckle drive was over, and then we ended up in the ditch. But that's all part of it, I guess. That's why we have the 4-wheel drive and the winch and the mud tires. But we are definitely due for some new tires. So first thing, we'll order those as soon as we get some cellular service.
I think it's interesting though that how that guy had passed us before, and then all of a sudden he just comes flying down on the road, and we weren't. I mean, we knew it was supposed to rain a little bit, but not, you know, you can sometimes forget when you're up high in high elevations is a whole nother ball game than when you're at the lower elevations. And when he told us, you know what, you better turn around.
He said, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, and there was another truck that just hauled past us, you know, and so that was, I'm super thankful that we did turn around when we did, because there's no way we would, I mean, we would have been stuck on the road.
On the
What was that?
switchbacks.
The,
I mean,
the switchbacks, what hill was that? That was Strawberry?
Strawberry Peak, so it's like at least 1,000-foot climb up all these switchbacks. And I was looking at it on the map already, a little pensive. I could see the storm coming in, but when that fella said, "You're best to turn around and get out of here," we took his advice. So,
Yeah.
Lesson of the day: always listen to the folks, the locals. They know. Getting some crazy headwinds and side winds blowing off the mountains. All these trucks are leaning, and I'm hanging on for dear life, dude. It's crazy. The old engine's working pretty hard. We just pulled off on the Bonneville Salt Flats Road, and we're just looking for a camp spot. But we're overlooking the Salt Flats. You can see people driving out there, so we might check that out tomorrow. I said we might check that out tomorrow. This is a rough little road. But yeah, we're gonna find something. This is all BLM land here, so we're just gonna find a secluded spot to camp for the night, and then we'll do some more exploring. Going through all the temperature zones today. It's freezing cold up in the mountains. 50 degrees in the mountains, 90 down in Salt Lake, and back to the 50s. Good strong wind. The only hat I have that fits. We are in Nevada, and we have about a 4.5-hour drive to the Oregon border. It's a very remote place. We're going to begin the backcountry discovery route of Oregon. We just crossed Nevada, and this is the state line of Oregon, and as we've been telling you for the last 4 weeks or so since we left home, our push is to get out to the coast, back to Oregon, and it's for a very special reason. Carol and I met here 25 years ago, and we got married here in Oregon. Not quite this, Oregon's a big state. We're right on the southeast corner, so we still have a long ways to go to get back to where Carol was born, but we were married in Oregon as well 25 years ago, October the 10th. So we're getting close to our 25th wedding anniversary, and we thought it'd be super fun to return to the scene of the crime. And so we're going to take you on a journey through this incredible state. Oregon has what we're going to be going into right now is the desert area. It has high level desert. It has mountains, the valley where Carol was born and raised, which has, wineries, and it's green and lush, and then you get out to the coast, which has got the powerful waves of the Pacific Ocean. So quite a lot of variety here, and we hope to explore as much of it as we can, and we can't wait to take you with us.
So where are we on the map? There you go.
We have to go up and to here.
Let's go.
Alright, we made it to the Alvord Desert in Oregon, southeastern Oregon, and it is spectacular. It's just a huge, we're working our way down there, but it looks like it's just a huge sandy desert. It's funny because when I first started coming to Oregon to see Carol, we were in kind of the rainy section, so you get this idea, and people always say, it rains so much in Oregon, but that's when you're seeing only a tiny little bit. When you get around and see how much is out here, I don't think it rains very much in this part of Oregon, so it's very, like I said earlier, very diverse state.
This is incredible.
All right, we are here. We're in the middle of the Alvord Desert. We could camp anywhere. We might even go farther in. Behind me are the Steam Mountains, just gorgeous. It's dead quiet out here. There's one or two other campers within many, many miles. The boys would love it out here on their bikes. We'll definitely have to come back. I'm glad we took this little detour. The Alvord Desert is located in southeastern Oregon and is a 12 by 7 mile or 19 by 11 kilometer dry lake bed that averages about 7 inches or 180 millimeters of rain per year and lies at an elevation of approximately 4,000 feet or 1,200 meters. The lake is open for camping, but as always, take good care to leave it better than you found it.
This morning we're just going to make a simple hot scrambled eggs using the Jimmy Dean sausage and a few other ingredients. And I found this, I think it was in Steamboat, Colorado. So Pete really liked it. I'm excited to try it out because we love green sauces in the morning. I'm still so used to cooking for the boys, and I forget that it's just Peter and I. So sometimes I have to bag or put it away in Tupperware, some of the meat. It's just habit. I'm looking at this now going, this is enough for 5 people. Just gonna turn this off while I get the onions and jalapenos in there. Cast iron just keeps on going up in temperature before cooling down, so you just have to kind of watch that. I'm thinking of putting some of my seasoning in there, some nice salt and pepper. This is what I've been using for the past few months, and I love it. And it comes in this little packet, carries all of the different varieties here of different peppers and paprika, salts, and they're all smoked, the cold smoked, and it's amazing flavor. And I like how compact it is for when you're traveling, but then you get to have all this yumminess in the small package, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. So here's a mesquite smoked peppercorn, but it's like the perfect amount for when you're traveling. And here's a maple smoked sea salt, just gorgeous. And it adds just that touch that really makes a meal. I think I'm going to be using a hickory smoked pepper and some hickory salt with it, just a little bit, to add to the heat of the sausage. Here they are. Isn't that just adorable? I think it's the cutest thing on earth. But let's get breakfast going. So this is a toaster, as you guys know. But we bought this when we first went to New Zealand. That's going on 8 years ago. And we still use the same one. I like this style a lot. It just compacts to nothing and it's reliable. Normally I like to add a little bit of milk to my scrambled eggs. Just makes it a nicer texture, I think. But this will do. See how it just cooks it perfectly. And since we're in Oregon, nothing like some Tillamook cheese. That rye is amazing.
got these Star tire deflators from Kevin at Lifestyle Overland. We figured we might as well give them a try. They're really neat. They're preset to 18 psi, so I haven't really used them before, but I've watched Kevin do it. And these, by the way, are available on Lifestyle Overland store, overlandprovision.com. They have all kinds of cool stuff like these, but let's give it a try. So theoretically that'll stop deflating at 8 when the tire reaches 18 psi. So if we end up with flat tires, then they didn't work. So another thing he's got in his store, which is really cool, a no loss tire valve cap. We're constantly losing these when we're airing up and down a lot on the trails. So the beauty of these is they clip on almost like your gas cap, so that you don't lose them. You just thread this on, and that makes it so you don't have to, you know, put them in your pocket or put them on top of the tires and forget them. And then when you're done, you get yourself a cap. It's very simple but handy idea. For those of you who know, you know. Those go missing. Got fuel and toilet paper, the important stuff. What we're going to do is go south and get on the BDR and see how the conditions are. When you're starting the BDR, just make sure you pop into fields, and they have gas, diesel, propane, a nice little general store. And we didn't end up getting a milkshake, but they're famous for their milkshakes and burgers. So if you're hungry, we just ate a big breakfast, so we're good. But if you're hungry, this is the place to be. So let's get on to the backcountry trails. Alright, so we just left the pavement and we are now on the backcountry discovery route for Oregon. It's newly released, I think, just this year, so we're pretty excited to be doing it and taking you with us. Heading up the first kind of very steep summit. It looks like loose gravel, so we've got it 4 low. We're just going to crawl our way up there. The first section of the Oregon Backcountry Discovery Route takes you over the 6,320-foot high Domingo Pass in the West Pueblos. summit. Nice view from up here. Take the paved roads down in the valley on, well, I don't know about on this side, but we've done that side. You always look up into these mountains, and I always wondered if there's any way into them, but the backcountry discovery route takes you right up and over them, so it's a neat way to see Oregon. The route then takes you on a steep descent down the other side of the mountain and into the high desert region of Oregon, also known as the Oregon Outback. The high desert is named for its generally high elevation, averaging about 4,000 feet or 1,200 meters across the region. As the day progressed, we continued to drive deeper into the high desert. We hadn't seen any signs of people all day. We became acutely aware that we were all alone out here. Did something... I'm just gonna look around. Something just sounded weird. I'm gonna check it. Of course, we're in the most remote part of the wilderness here. I just felt like the brakes kicked on or something happened, and so this wire must have caught on one of the sagebrush and it pulled it out and the brakes kicked on the trailer. So I'm gonna definitely put this up a little higher so it doesn't do that again. That was a scary thing, a scary moment. Alright, we've got everything more sagebrush and desert ready. Let's go. We always travel into the backcountry well prepared for any event. We carry plenty of food, water, fuel, shelter, tools, satcoms, and other supplies. But it became evident that if we were to become in need of any kind of major vehicle repairs, getting help out here would be very difficult and could take days. Alright, the trail has really narrowed down. It looks more like just a wagon trail or tractor trail, just wide enough for the Jeep. So very rocky, and it gets really steep up ahead, so we're going to go back to 4 low and crawl up that hill. The high desert is located in the southeastern part of the state and covers approximately 24,000 square miles, extending approximately 200 miles from central Oregon east to the Idaho border and 130 miles south to the Nevada border. The high desert is home to the pronghorn, coyote, mule deer, black-tailed jackrabbit, and cougar. Birds in the region include sage-grouse, quail, and prairie falcon. Sagebrush, juniper, and the woolly sunflower are the region's most widespread plants. This is a rocky, bumpy section, and we're just taking her slow. Don't want to do any damage. This is rough and rocky traveling, guys. We'll show you on the map when we get a chance later, but there's some really rocky sections, even for motorcycles. It'll be challenging, but in your Jeep or whatever you're driving, take it slow and you'll be alright, but you're just bouncing.
It's probably like what the wagon train. That's what I'm picturing the whole entire time.
I know how they did that. Man, they were tough people back then. We spent some time consulting the map and plotted a trail that led over Bald Mountain towards a distant paved road on the Nevada border. With evening approaching, we began heading in that direction. Alright, we made it back to pavement. We found a trail off the BDR. It goes for many, many days northward. But we, being by ourselves, we decided to find pavement, which was another, I don't know how far off the trail. It was a long ways. This is a very, very vast wilderness area, just unbelievable. It's spectacular. But I'd probably feel better going in there with a tag, with a buddy. Having the boys on their bikes or another vehicle, it just feels better because you can get broken down in the middle of nowhere and you're all alone. So we are now airing up. We're actually right on the right there is Nevada and this is Oregon. So we came from Nevada, we went up all through the mountains and back right to the state line again. So we're gonna find a way from here, start working our way north. How'd you get out, big guy? All right, we just found a little spot. We've been driving for a couple hours and it looks pretty cool. There's a river down there, so we're gonna see if we can get ourselves situated for a nice camp for tonight. What a treat. So we're backed up pretty much right onto this little creek. It's just perfect. What a nice place to camp. Huh?
So that was a fun day exploring some wild country. But now we're here and I'm gonna start supper pretty soon because we're starving. I don't think we stopped for lunch. Yes, we didn't stop for lunch. So this will be a nice rest and dinner time. Beautiful pine cones. So it was nice after a long day on the trail to come here and find this beautiful spot and just kind of clean up and basically take a shower. But now I think I'll go and make some steaks, and I think Pete is editing a little bit tonight. But yeah, it was refreshing to come here after being in the desert all day driving and come and freshen up.
It smells really good around here. Carol made a delicious burger, and we used a portobello for a bun, bottom and top, and then some poblano peppers. We have a place in Bozeman, Montana that we love to go and get a burger at, and they had a poblano burger, but it had buns on top and bottom, and then the portobello. And I asked them if they would just replace the bun with the portobello, because I'm just trying to eat less carbs. And they did, and it was delicious. So we made one of our own here, and I wouldn't be surprised if that portobello burger ends up on the menu there. But yeah, if you're looking to eat lower carb and eliminate some of the bread, try this. It's really good. We're heading in to get fuel in the little town of Lakeview. It's about 20 miles from here, and we're climbing into central Oregon, which is different than what we were in yesterday in southeastern Oregon with, you know, the sagebrush and the desert. Now we're getting into the pine trees of central Oregon and the Cascade Range, and we're probably a half an hour drive from Northern California, and pretty close to the Mount Shasta region. which is another area we love. So we're super excited to be here and to show you this part of Oregon. And we're gonna drive north today, about 3.5 hours, up to Sisters, which is one of our favorite little towns in Central Oregon. So yeah, come with us on a beautiful drive through a beautiful state. We're just passing a place called Summer Lake, which is just north of Paisley, Oregon, and it looks a lot like the Alvord Desert, just a huge white sand area, but it's an actual lake, so the water must come and go. On the map it shows you know, blue water, but yeah, I'm assuming it dries out during the summer and then fills up again after the winter. So I'm going to do a bit more research on it, but it's a beautiful area, and this is a section of the state that we haven't been in yet, so we're really enjoying it. All right, we made it to our neck of the woods, Oregon, up here in right now we're in Sun River, and we've been coming up to this area for years. But what's exciting is that now that they've opened the BDR, we can go between Sun River and Sisters, our next favorite town, all backcountry. So we're looking forward to that. That'll be the first time. We've explored some of the backcountry, but to have a well-marked designated trail to follow is a real treat. So step one is we find the trail. But funny thing is, we didn't know. We stopped to eat here in Sun River, and we didn't realize the BDR comes right through Sun River. They have a grocery store, places to eat, so you can get all stocked up, fueled up, and ready for the next leg of your journey. Just aired down. The road's getting a little rough in here, and we were at highway pressure, so we're ready to hit the trail. For the last half hour or so, we're just cruising through some pretty thick forest. This section of the trail got even tighter, but yeah, we'll see what's ahead. It's a heavily forested area. I had a glimpse of Mount Bachelor in the distance at one point, but I think the boys would love these trails on their bikes.
Yeah, agree. Lando would have liked that. Rolls a little bit. It's not bad, it feels pretty level. Good, beautiful spot. Nice little creek back there. Thought we'd do a meat and cheese platter with just different things that we picked up from here in Oregon, and I thought it'd be really fun. And we got a little brie, which I think I'm going to add some honey and rosemary, almonds, and some olives to it. So it should be good. And nothing quite says Oregon like some Tillamook cheese.
Good morning. Carol and I have been enjoying our coffee here by this river. We had an amazing sleep, falling asleep to the sound of the river here and the wind in the trees. It's just a beautiful area. We're not that far from Sisters, the little town of Sisters. So rather than make breakfast this morning, we thought we'd go in, have a treat, just get a breakfast at a little restaurant in town. There's a place we went to years ago with the kids, and I'm not sure if it's still there, but it looked like it was just a little house, and they made the most beautiful breakfast there. We've been talking about it for the last 4 years or so since we've been there, so if that place is still there, we'll go eat breakfast. And then there's all kinds of hikes in this area, so we're hoping to get over to one of the trailheads and just get some exercise, because we've been pushing so hard the last couple of weeks, just pushing right across the country, so more driving than walking. So we want to get our blood flowing again, get our steps in. After that, we're going to keep heading down the road and meet up with family here in Oregon. It's going to be fun.
Well, there's still snow up on those mountains over there.
Yeah. It's quite a bit on top of South Sister. Hey guys, we found the place. It's called the Cottonwood Cafe behind me there. It's pretty busy, so there's about a 5 to 10 minute wait, which is fine. And we'll have breakfast and hit the trail. Looks good. Going for a hearty breakfast. Yum. Dig in.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, my grandfather worked for McDonnell Douglas Aircraft down in Long Beach. This is all part of the runway fire department.
Oh, really?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I learned to drive on when I was 13. So I was
No.
like,
Do you mind if I film?
Yeah, please.
That is so neat. Check this out, guys.
That was a 1956 Jeep that was used on the fire department at McDonnell Douglas on their runway. So his grandfather worked there and he's still got the Jeep. Pretty cool. Carol was saying it reminds us of the movie Always, where they're bouncing around in a Jeep on the runway. Same Jeep.
So after that amazing breakfast, we found a little trail, just a couple of miles. But there are trails everywhere here, and Pete and I have decided next time we come or go out on the road again, we are definitely bringing our mountain bikes again. So we can do exploring. We used to carry our mountain bikes the first 5 years of our travel everywhere we went. It was so nice. You know, you can park the Jeeps and then get some exercise and see the trails around you or the area around you and go exploring. It's just a different view from the driver's seat or the passenger seat of your vehicle to actually, you know, getting your blood flowing. But yeah, it's a beautiful day again. The mountains are in full view. Stunning. So you can see the three sisters right there. And I don't know, that's the south sister. We hiked that years ago. I think Daniel was around 9 years old at the time. And then since then we've hiked it a few times. Absolutely breathtaking if you're here in the Bend Sisters area. We're just gonna finish this out a couple more miles and then we'll see you guys in town.
That was an amazing hike. Such a beautiful area. We made it back to the Jeep and now we're heading back to town.
There you are. Hi. I haven't seen you in a while. We just pulled in and we're at my sister's. Her and Jason are letting us stay in their adorable yurt, and I gotta show you guys that. And we were waiting for my brother and his wife, Caitlin, with their two little ones that they just flew out from Ohio. And we're just getting kind of settled in here for the next few days, and then we're gonna hit the road camping again.
We're here at the Oregon coast. One of our favorite hikes. It's called Cascade Head, and it's overlooking what they call the three rocks. You can see them 1, 2, 3 in the background. If you ever get a chance, come out here and check this out. The parking lot is way down in the valley. You come up through a section of trees and then into this grassland. One year we were here with the kids and we saw a big herd of elk actually running right over that hill. Carol's never lived that down, so we're hoping to see elk again. But awesome way to get some exercise when you're out at the coast here in beautiful Oregon. Such an incredible spot. Right down. There'll be a nice beach to camp on down there.
We'll go hunting for this.
Is it freezing?
So, as you probably know, this is one of our favorite places on the coast here in Cape Coanda, and this is our first time, Carol and I, being here without the kids, so it's a little bit emotional and flooded with all kinds of wonderful memories. 25 years ago, probably this time of year, maybe in July, we, Carol and I, like the first time we ever went out for dinner was right here. It's a place called the Pelican, which is right on the beach. And so it's fun to come back, almost 25 years later, and it seems like we used to be able to run up and down this dune quite easily. It's getting a little harder these days, but it's fun to see Keith and Caitlin. Last time we went camping was in Wyoming, outside of the Tetons, and it was just the two of them. And now they're a family of 4, so a lot has happened in the last 2 years. But anyway, we're having a lot of fun here. Cape Coanda, Oregon. If you're ever in this neighborhood, check this out. It's just a perfect beach for the kids, and get some exercise and have fun. Had an amazing time with our family in the Salem, Rick Real area, and had so much fun. We miss everybody already, but today we just left and are heading back eastward now that we've been all the way to the coast. We're currently in the Mount Hood region. We're actually climbing up to a place called Government Camp on the edge of Mount Hood. And the views are spectacular, and we're hoping to find a camp spot up here on the Oregon BDR to spend the night, and we're going to bring you some of this amazing scenery. Found a pretty good spot. Wow, overlooking Mount Hood. This looks amazing. We had to climb quite a ways up the mountain, but this looks like it's worth it. I don't know about you, but I think this is probably the most spectacular camp spot we've ever had the privilege of camping at. We just kind of found it by luck. We came off the road, came up a really steep mountain road, took a side road in here, and just one of the most privileged views of Mount Hood in the background. It's just amazing. We just watched the sun go down. It's absolutely spectacular. I hope we can bring it to you on camera, because it's a joy to behold. If you ever get a chance to come up here, you're going to want to find this camp spot, and if not, I hope our video does justice.
just empty the cargo. So good morning. I'm just here taking a hike. Pete is working on some reels for you guys. But I always like to, when we come into camp, just go out and explore what's around us. And we had so many deer, like you could hear them around our camp last night. Their hooves on the ground. And then now that I'm walking, I can see it on the trail here. But what a breathtaking camp spot. It's kind of special to be in Oregon, the state I was born and raised, and get to explore a little bit of it. I can't wait to come back with the kids and do a lot more exploring and hiking for sure. But yeah, it's another beautiful day. I think this whole time we've been in Oregon, the weather is just hot and sunny. Most people think it's all rainy, but I mean, they do have their rainy months, but this has just been amazing. So it's nice to get out in the quiet. You can't even hear traffic, nothing. And then the mountain is just right over here. It's just breathtaking. So this afternoon, we're going to be making some lettuce hamburgers.
Whew. Sitting there editing in the dark, and I heard something galloping into the camp here. Like galloped right up, and then turned around, and I jumped up and grabbed the light. I thought, I didn't know what it was, but a big old deer just walked up into the forest there. Hey, buddy. Have a good night, dear. Whew, that made me jump though. We had another amazing sleep overlooking the spectacular Mount Hood. I still can't believe that we were able to camp right there with that view, but yeah, it was a beautiful place. We spent all day yesterday just lounging, and I even took a nap. I know I haven't done that in a while, and just yeah, did nothing and enjoyed the view, so that was fun. Today, pretty early, 7 o'clock, we're heading out. We're still working our way back to Bozeman. We've got some exciting things that we're doing, mods on the Jeep, and then we're heading back to reunite with the boys. But we have one more surprise in the meantime, which you have to stay tuned to see what I'm talking about. But we're looking forward to getting back to seeing the kids. We had an amazing time here on the West Coast, and I hope you have been enjoying the adventure. long haul. This morning we were in the Mount Hood region, overlooking gorgeous Mount Hood, and we are now in Montana. Whew. Crossed part of a good chunk of Oregon, a good chunk of Washington, the top panhandle, I guess you call it, of Idaho, and we're now in Montana. But we're gonna stretch your legs and then get camp set up. Good morning. Had a great sleep here last night. We're at about 3,000 feet, so not too high. We came down a big, long hill yesterday, so from the summit, which I think was 7,000 feet, but it's still chilly here for this elevation. Really, you can really feel fall coming on. It's all mostly pine and spruce here, but there are some poplars which are losing their summer color, so we're really feeling the fall weather coming on, and we're enjoying every minute of it. We're gonna filter some water. We're out of water, but there's a beautiful river back here. But first we're gonna have coffee and some breakfast, and then we're gonna carry on down the road. Alright, we made it to our second home, which is Bozeman, Montana. We are now on the backside of the Bridgers. We are going to try to find a camp spot up here at a place that we wanted to go to for quite some time. We've been back here camping in the Bridger Mountains, but not up at this place called Ferry Lake, so we're really looking forward to getting up there. I think the cutoff is right now, and we're going to head up. It's pretty chilly. It was almost around 32 degrees this morning, so we may get snow up there, but we'll see what happens. We are climbing into the clouds now. We're at 6,800 feet and climbing, almost at 7,000 feet. The trail is pretty muddy and rough. Yeah, we're doing it again. We're on the shelf roads again. Crazy. Alright, thanks. I think we just passed a guy. I think we're the only ones in the campground. He said he hiked up to the pass and they had snow up there, so Carol and I are gonna have to make a decision if we stay. We could be snowed in for a day or two. We'll let you know what we decide. See what they say here with the camper information.
So I've always wanted to come to Fairy Lake and do the hike, but then there is supposed to be weather tonight, and we talked to Clay from Overland, and he's like, it's kind of iffy, you know, because it might be 2 days of snow, might not, but I think the best decision is to carry on back down, and then if it's sunny all next week, we can come back up here, do the hike that I've always wanted to do. But I think it's smarter, again, pulling a trailer and having no one to help us out, like the other Jeep. So anyways, it would have been nice, but what do you do?
We'll seek some lower elevations. It's a heavy pump. Hopefully it's not that whole route.
It looks like here.
Only?
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're back off the slick muddy trail, and we're down at 6,100 feet elevation, and we're going to find a camp spot up here and let this weather system pass, and then we're definitely going to head back up there. That's a beautiful place, very wild and remote, and we've been wanting to do that hike, the loop hike at Fairy Lake. So let's see what happens with the weather. Looks like we got off the mountain just on time. As soon as we got down, it started raining really hard, and everything is just, as you can see, turned into slick mud. So we're just right off the forest road here, which is gravel, so no worries. And very muddy, very wet, but we've got our heater going, as you can hear in the background, and I'm gonna use that to dry out the clothes and warm up. All right, well, we were just up there, and it rained. We got out of the mountains and it rained down here, but I think you can see up there they got snow, and lots of it. So I think we made the right call. We would have been snowed in right now, definitely just over that ridge, and probably stuck up there for at least a few days. So yeah, I feel good about the decision to get out of the mountains. We got up this morning in the rain, had a coffee, and decided to go out for breakfast. So we're about a half an hour from town, and there's a place called Jam that we really like, and hopefully it's not too busy. We're gonna go get some brekkie. We enjoyed a delicious breakfast, and then we met the most amazing couple, a young couple. We'll show you a quick video clip of that meeting. That was awesome.
Hey!
Just want to be on one of
Yes!
Epic family road trip. You guys are the best. Keep it up.
You inspired us to do this. This is all because of you.
And what are you guys doing, and what are you driving?
So we're from northern Michigan. We are 18 years old. 3 weeks married today.
No way!
Yeah. We built out a 2013 Jeep Wrangler, and we took off. We did it because of these guys, because we wanted to do what they're doing.
Yes.
So amazing.
And then
So
we bumped into them right here in Bozeman.
Oh, we saw the Jeep and we freaked out.
So cool.
We were like, we have to find them.
And here we are.
And here we are.
Good morning from Montana. We had a wonderful sleep here in the shadow of the Bridger Mountains. We're just making a coffee here, but today's a really exciting day for Carol and I, because Pete Jr. is flying into town, and we haven't seen him since since we dropped him off to go to Africa. So it's been almost 3 months, or getting 2 months and 3 weeks. So he's coming into town to do some more camera work with Overland. Clay has got all kinds of projects going on, and he needed a good camera guy, so Pete was available, and he's coming into town, and hopefully we'll be able to do some camping with him as well while we're here. So yeah, a big day for us.
is the perfect meal for today. Me and Dan on the way down when we were driving, we were just listening.
Oh, really?
Listening to all those. I don't think we listened to the night that Patty Murphy died, though.
Good morning. So today's a big day. We are beginning the long journey back to Ontario. It's going to take us about 5 days, and then we're going to close down the cabin. We'll spend a few days there, obviously, saying hi to Dan and Lando again, and then we're going to close down the cabin for the winter and start heading back. We will drive with Lando, Carol and I, and Dan will probably fly in to Bozeman here, reunite with Pete, and then the whole convoy is going to head somewhere warm. So stay tuned, lots of adventures ahead.
Eyes that haunt the sea, untold mysteries, time, lucid and serene, just beyond my reach, just beyond.
Alright, we've been on the road for I don't know how many hours, but quite a long day, and we're actually back in the Badlands of North Dakota, believe it or not. So it feels like we were just here, but we've been on this incredible journey all the way to the Pacific Ocean and back. So it's been amazing. We have a long ways to go still. We're gonna grab something to eat tonight and then head up into the Red Hills overlooking Theodore Roosevelt National Park. All right, we are heading, we're almost into camp now, and man, we got some serious headwinds going on. So it's going to be a windy night. They're also calling for the first freeze of the year, so it's going to be below zero or below freezing. I think 30 degrees Fahrenheit and -1 or -2 Celsius. So that's all right. We're all prepared. We've got our heater, we've got warm blankets, and we're good. So that was a rock and rolling night. the tent and the whole Jeep was just moving. Super windy and cold. It got down to -2 Celsius and probably, what is that, 30 Fahrenheit. But we were toasty warm in here with our heater. So now we're just gonna get back on the interstate and keep heading east. So the Badlands are not only gorgeous, but there's tons of wildlife here. Last night we saw a big bull elk and a herd of cows, and this morning there's a bunch of deer on our way out of here. A big bald eagle flew, negotiating the wind as it flew really low over our camp this morning. And if you go down here a little ways, you'll see herds of buffalo, bison, and so amazing area if you ever get a chance to come out here. Good wind coming off Lake Superior and massive waves. Let's go check them out. For anyone unfamiliar with the Great Lakes region, you might think that we had made a wrong turn and we're back in Oregon at the coast looking out at the ocean. But this is Lake Superior, the largest freshwater lake in the world, holding 10% of the world's surface fresh water. Lake Superior straddles the Canada-US border with the Canadian province of Ontario to the north and east, and the US states of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan to the west and south. Today there's a strong wind blowing off the Great Lakes, ushering in some stormy weather that would end up following us home. Alright, so last night we spent the night in a hotel in Brainerd, Minnesota. It was cold and we were tired of driving, and that worked out really well. And now we are in mid-Michigan. We crossed the rest of Minnesota and Wisconsin, and we're getting back close to Minising. We're about an hour away from Minising, Michigan. That leaves us in a good position to get up tomorrow morning, and 6 to 8 hours of driving and we should be back at the island. So we're super excited about that. Dan's looking forward to seeing us, and we're looking forward to seeing him and Lando. So yeah, we're just gonna keep pushing. All right, we decided to go all the way through, across the border. We're now in Ontario, Canada. We're only 3.5 hours from home, so
It's tempting.
do we push? I do have to finish editing and we have to upload a video for tomorrow morning, so we'll probably end up finding a hotel here in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, and then we'll just get up a decent time tomorrow morning and head on up to the island. That way we don't have to cross at 2 o'clock in the morning either. So we're pretty excited to be almost back. We are 17 minutes from home. Pretty excited. We've got to do a cold, wet boat ride across the lake. It's pouring rain all day so far, and it's just about freezing. We've been seeing snow through the rain, and we're supposed to possibly get some accumulating snow tonight. So that's early, but kind of exciting. It'll be cozy for Canadian Thanksgiving tomorrow, and Tuesdays are our 25th anniversary, so we're excited to be home for that and spend it at the lake with Dan and Lando. We'll be missing Pete and Caroline, of course, but that's life. Yeah, so we are gonna unpack most of our stuff into the boat and get across the lake, and we'll take you with us. So the last couple hours have been a beautiful drive going through the maple forest. They're pretty much in peak season now with the fall colors, so we're excited to enjoy that as well. It's a cold and rainy one today on the lake. We're pumping out the boat. It got a lot of water in it. We just have this bilge pump going here, and hopefully that's all it takes to get it operational, and we'll get out on the lake.
Look at him just running. He's just running around the house. Oh my goodness. What are you doing, little guy? You're just running. And in the meantime,
We'll see you down the road.